Okay. Hey, all, and welcome to this video portion of another tool for quantum energetics, quantum alignment, and free energy. And so, free energy is something that is always all in, on, and around us all the time. It's just a matter of understanding or understanding how to move it, how to utilize it, how to feel it, how to activate it in a way that is easeful and palpable. And so this is a brief introduction into how to actually activate spinal energetics. And so these spinal energetic practices can be done on the spine, but they can also be done from the front of the body. And so we have these different centers within the body that help amplify and activate the spinal energy. What could be called innate intelligence or life force. But a simple, easy way to do this is to actually use our hands to amplify energy. And so I'll show you some more in-depth videos in the following demonstrations, but for today, for the sake of this practice, we're going to do it sitting up, so that you could do it at your desk, you could do it on a walk, you can do it sitting down, you can do it pre or post meditation or breath work or whatever you would like to just kind of deepen that energy, deepen that awareness into the body. And so I always love to kind of start with a body scan. So just like we've done in the previous videos, scanning the body, dropping into the awareness of what it feels like to be in the body. And so a way we're going to do that today is we're going to start with the feet. So begin by just breathing into the feet and relaxing and feeling the support of the feet on the ground and the earth beneath that. So breathe in and become aware of the feet. And the support of the earth beneath you. Breathing in and relaxing from the feet to the knees. Breathing in and relaxing from the knees to the hips. Softening and relaxing the entire pelvis. Noticing the relationship between the spine and the breath, and relaxing the entire torso. Softening and relaxing the arms, from shoulders to elbows, down to the fingertips. Relaxing the neck and the head, jaw, lips, nose, eyelids, eyes, forehead, eyebrows, and relaxing the entire body. Now, if you'd like, you can go ahead and rub your hands together, creating a little bit of energy, electricity between the hands and the arms. And I want you to just go ahead and place your hands on your pelvis and breathe in. And noticing what that does to your breath and your spine. It could be even on your pubic bone or the front of the pelvis, whatever feels most authentic and feels good to this space. noticing what that does to the breath, to the body, and to the breath, and the relationship between the breath and the spine. Now rubbing your hands together just a little bit, maybe placing them on your chest or your heart, noticing what that does to the breath and to the spine. And resting the hands here for a few breaths. And noticing what that does to the breath and to the spine. Next, I want you to place your hands anywhere that feels good on the head. It can be the forehead, the back of the head. It could be the temples. It could be right by the ears. For today, I'm going to place my hands and my fingers right here on my temples. You're not pressing so hard that you're cutting off the circulation, but just enough so that you begin to feel the pulse of the head. And notice what that does to the breath and to the spine and to how the body wants to move. And visualize your fingers or your hands just sort of melting into the head, anchoring into the space. You're touching so lightly as not to block the flow of the blood and the fluids, but so structured that if someone were to try to move your hand, they wouldn't quite be able to lift it. This is an energetic anchoring. As you start to anchor into the head and into the body, notice the breath and the relationship between the breath and the spine. And let the body move however it wants to move. For me, the head seems to always be the most activating, but at this time, allow yourself to move your hands back to the space, pelvis, heart, or head, that seem to be the most activating, and just rest your hands there for a few breaths. Let the spine elongate and activate with the flow of the breath. And allow the body to move however it wants to move. If pressing and softening your pressure of activation within your hands feels good, do so. But allow the body space to move between the breaths and between the relationship between the breath and the spine. Allow your hands to rest in this activating space for a few more breaths. Now that the breath is activated and the spine is activated as well, moving the hands back to the pelvis, maybe the pubic bone, maybe the sides of the pelvis, wherever the energy feels most alive, allowing your hands to meet there and breathing into this space for a few breaths. And letting your awareness rest in the spine and in the pelvis, and noticing what that does to the breath and the pelvic energy. Noticing how that energy might want to move through the pelvis and maybe up the spine, but not forcing it to do anything in particular. You're just noticing. Now continuing to move the hands with the awareness of the energy moving through the spine. Maybe bring your hands to the bottom or top of the rib cage or your sternum, where the rib cage meets the sternum, known as the linea alba, allowing the breath and the energy to activate within this space for a few breaths. Allowing the breath to travel into the nose and out through the mouth. As the breath becomes more active, so too does the noise and the voice. Sound is the pressure valve and release valve of intensity. Allowing the hands to move up the channels to the heart or the chest space. And allowing the movements to follow suit. What happens as you bring the hands up the channels? With the breath and the awareness up the spine, what wants to move through the body? And is there sound that wants to accommodate this movement of the energy and the breath? Allowing the hands to follow the energy. Maybe the energy in the hands and the awareness wants to move to the throat, allowing it to do so, allowing the hands to meet the energy in the space within the spine and the breath. And as the energy rises, following the awareness with the breath and the hands. As it moves into the head, do so the same with the hands. Finding the space on the breath and the body and the head where the awareness wants to be met. Maybe that's the forehead. Maybe it's the temples. Maybe it's the top of the head, and letting the breath and the awareness follow suit. And letting the sound match the awareness. Ah. 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 Maybe the hands want to move on the head. Let the hands trace the energy. Maybe if your hands were in the center of the forehead, bringing them to the temples. Ah. Or the top of the head. Ah. Ah. And letting the breath and the sound meet the intensity of the energy and the awareness. Ah. Ah. Tracing that energy back down the bottom, maybe meeting at the shoulders. Ah. Tracing that energy back down to the earth. Ah. Now letting the hands rest off the body. When the hands rest off the body, this is the space of integration. This is the space where the energy becomes information. And you'll notice my environment is responding to this newfound energy, this softness between the accumulation of intensity. You'll notice the trees, the birds, the leaves, the wind, even my breath and my relationship with my environment is responding to my energy. So softening, becoming completely relaxed around the intensity and the movement of the energy. Allowing the energy to amplify, but also being soft, as if you were the eye within the storm. Grounding in this powerful, powerful energy into the center channels. Softening this awareness. And again, noticing the center channel of the spine. Breathing this newfound energy through the body, through the center channels just behind and in front of the spine. Noticing the sits bones. Noticing this accumulation of energy. And carrying this with you throughout the day. allowing this accumulation of energy to be your new identity, to be your new baseline for how you move through life, through love. Thank you for joining me in this powerful, profound, yet simple practice of increasing energy within, on, and around the body. I'll see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day.